Alright everybody, it's your old buddy Michael here, 523 Music. We've got our Koa guitar here that I play quite a bit, and it's having some difficulty. I'm noticing when I'm plugging the cord in, it's giving me some pops. Not good, not good. That'll definitely get your sound man angry with you. So we don't want that. When we come out to play, we want to be the guy that everybody's happy to see, not the one that they're like, turn down the mic. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. I'll tilt this up. This little dude right here, we're going to take that off and see if we can't float it out. So I'm going to set it back down whilst I get a few tools. Okay, so I'm gonna try to get this off without losing it. So the key here is to not lose the socket once the nut's off. And my hope is that this is going to fit through the hole. But I won't know that until I get it done. I had one that was a jig that was made up for this. Thought I could find it, but I didn't. So I need that to stay where it's at. That goes in. And yeah, looks like it works, y'all. We got it in there. Okay, so next thing is to see if I can. So again, that's just a little trick with the cord. This is a cord that I've got that made it a little bit easier. Some of them don't work, some of them will. So I'm going to see if I can grab a hold of this, float it in, and then get it out here. So what appears to be happening is that I'm getting some sizzle. Now, it could be my cord, but it also could be this. Now, the next thing that I need to do is plug this in and jiggle it around and see if I can simulate. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is see, I've got a little tail here. So I'm going to get my little mini amp. Okay, so I've got my my little mini amp, turning it on. Okay, now we'll make sure it's all clean. There we go. Okay, so that's coming out. So now, where was the issue, y'all? So that's actually, I hear nothing there. I mean, that's solid. So what was going on here? Right there. So that noise. Interesting. But it doesn't, I mean, the wiring here looks good and solid. They did a good job. So I'm going to try floating it back in and then with it in there, see if it fiddles. So I'm going to turn the amp back off so I don't get any popping. Again, you can kind of see, probably not really well, but you can kind of see what I've got here. Oh hell, I lost my camera. Never fails. Well, okay. You gonna come back up there, Mr. Man? All right, y'all. We're back. Had a phone, our camera and battery died. Using phone as a camera and a battery died. You got to check that stuff, folks. Always check your cameras. Okay, so we're back to this. So this tested okay-ish. There were some happenings with this, but it could be because the cap's off of it. So now, again, we're going to jig this back through and then try to simulate it while it's plugged in. Just going to guide this back through, being very careful not to unplug the thing. So at this point, it's just kind of a jiggly and turning kind of thing. You can, if you can still reach the thing, you can use it to kind of help guide it and lift it. Just being very careful not to take any chances of it unplugging. And it's looking like, and there you have it, folks. So it unplugged and our washer came off, so we're going to have to get that back. Our thing came off. Not sure which part of it failed. Probably that part. We do now need to get out the part that came off. Sounds like maybe a couple. Okay, so there's one washer. There was one thing that fell out. Oh, joyful. There it is. Okay. Got one piece. There's the other washer. All right. That's everything. Okay, we're going to try this again. Now, you could go and waller it out, and that's a good possible thing to do. I am going to not do that. I'm going to put the washer back on. I'm going to give myself a little bit more on that. And then we're going to float this back through. So on this side we've got nut and then washer. So it's right there. That's the sticking point. So I'm going to kind of do a little back and forth just to kind of slightly wear it out. Turning it as I'm coming in and out so that it kind of gives it a little abrasion. Okay. All right, so we're going to try that. It's still right about there is where it's feeling kind of sticky. And again, there's probably proper tools for this. I'm just trying to get this done before I go out tonight. So hopefully we can still have a good time and not worry about our guitar. So now here I got to take this off. Get my cord to where I can see it. Yeah, there we go. All right, we got it. And we captured it this time. Okay. So that's that. This is there. Let's put these back on. So we're going to go with that, go in that direction. This go in this direction. Make sure we didn't crisscross anything inside, and then we're going to stick that back in there. So that's in. I'm going to hold the things this time to make sure that it doesn't. Now that's the other thing, is making sure that these guys stay where they're supposed to be, because that also could be what happened. That washer could have got jammed in there. Never do know. Alright, so keeping it level this time so as not to have that happen again. Alright, we're there. We're doing the dance. Do a little back and forth. Huh. It did it again. I mean, it's right there. But nah, that's not going to slide through if it don't stay. Yeah, and there it goes. Well, let's try again. Let's try again. We may have to get the tool out and do the raspy thing. All right. There's one. There's two. Okay. Let me see what I've got in the bin here that might be able to help. Oh man, I'm messing up my thing. See, that's not something like that, but not. Okay. That won't fit. Maybe these. These could be the files that I'm looking for. Or not. Yeah, these are files. Okay. So, let's go with this little dude here. And again, all I'm going to do is just kind of go in here. I'm just trying to smooth it off a little bit so that I'm not catching on anything. Again, I'm not going crazy. Just going to try a little bit, smoothing it out. Alright, so now that we did that, let's try it. Always put your tools back together, folks. And this is a cool little set that we got just on Amazon, probably. But it's got some neat stuff in it, as you can see. Always put your tools back. Always zip your tools up. Otherwise, they will get scattered. Okay, so we're going to put him back in there. And we're going to float this back in there. Okay, so it was right there-ish. It still feels pretty. I didn't really test it. But again, my impatience is getting the best of me. So we will float you. Captured. We'll do some washer. And then the grabber. And then the stabber. See that, how that slid off there? Okay, so start easing. Easy does it. Easy does it every time. Alright. So, there we're on that part. Definitely want to keep it lined up. Yeah, I think I fucked up the washers again. What do you bet? Yeah, that could be where it's having some difficulty with the washer alignment. Oof. Dee-dee-dee. This will be a great candidate for a speed up. All right. I lost it again. It seems to be a little easier, but maybe not. Because the other thing is I don't want to undo the damn thing. But that's the wrong one. Yeah, that was the wrong one. Let me try and letting gravity help. Ha! How ridiculous was that? And that worked. Okay, so now that we have that off, the next thing is to slide on our washer. Please don't lose my thing. Got it. Then holding it while I get the nut on. Okay. So I am going to run this up a bit more. We did give ourselves some extra. Just something to help grab onto it while we take a wrench to it. You step out and grab a wrench. Okay, I brought a little fixed wrench to see if it's this size. It's not. But this one it might be. There we go. Alright, so that one was too tiny, and the other one was too big. So we're going to get the crescent wrench and actually do the dual. So yeah, just being real careful. Getting it snug is all I'm after. I'm not trying to over tighten it too much. Okay, that feels solid. So then the cap, we just want to make sure that the cap goes on all the way. And it did. Okay. So now we're going to plug it back in and do another test. Let's get our cord back together here. Cover up the stuff. All right. So that's going to go in there. Plugging that in there. Turning on. See right there. That's what it was doing. So, what is that? That's not good. Yeah, we don't like that. We don't like that at all. Damn. See, it's that part right there. Well, let me try turning it off. And trying with a different cord. That's even worse. See, that's the cord that I've been using, and that's garbage. So could it be that it's a really weak cord? I'm thinking no, but we're going to try one more thing. I think I've got another cord here we can fiddle with. Okay, this one's a bit longer, but still it'll do what we want it to do. Yeah, I got a feeling it's my jack, unfortunately. That is quite the possibility. It could be. So this here, we're going to just take it and turn the thing off. Plug this in. Plug that in. Turn it back on. This will be the third cord we check, and if it's still doing it, then we'll know that it's the jack. Something's internally with the jack. Yeah. So right there. See, it doesn't appear to be at the cord. It is the fucking jack. Well, boo. Well, y'all, so there it is. There you have it. Did not find the solution. We did narrow it down, I think, though. It is going to be a cable or a connector problem. So, sounds like we might be able to troubleshoot it a little bit more, maybe spray some cleaner in there, but more than likely it's going to be a new connector, which we don't have at the moment. So, bummily, that's possibly going to retire this one for a minute until I can get it fixed back up, which means that I'll probably be either using my other acoustic that has a pickup built into it, or switching to the electric. We'll see. Anyway, so there we have it, all settled up, and on to the next one. Cheers. See you next time.